Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome back to another episode of Elevate Your Success 101. I'm so blessed and grateful to be celebrating another 24 hours of life. Guys, I'm so thankful that you guys tapped in to listen to today's episode. Hit that subscribe button. We're going to be dropping some crazy content, some valuable information so that you guys can elevate your success every single day. And without further ado, we're going to dive right into today's episode. But before we do, let me give a special shout out to all my fans, all my listeners, all my lovers, all my followers. I love y'all from the bottom of my heart. I swear this platform that I've been blessed with has allowed me to have an impact on so many people's lives. And I just appreciate the love, the support, the reviews, everything that you guys do for the brand. We see it every single day. And I cannot start today's episode without letting you know that I'm truly grateful for all your love and support. So with that being said, today we're going to be talking about real self-care, right? That's today's topic. Real self-care. We actually posted an episode previously to this one, just giving you guys some general information that can help you go next level in your life, right? And I told you guys we were going to be doing 40 self-care rules that you guys can take and go ahead and apply to your daily lives to help you go next level, right? We care about self-care this season right here. We're going to be talking about self-care in specific, focusing on the things that you can do to elevate your mind, your environment around you, and these things will help you fast forward to your goals, right? So today we're going to be going over rules 1 through 5. So grab a pen. If you wear glasses, bring them out because you're about to take notes, right? So today we're going to be going over steps 1 through 5. These are going to be a part of our 40 self-care rules, right? And the first rule is owning the morning, right? And a lot of people ask me, why do I post at 5 a.m. in the morning? Because I want you to actually own your morning with positivity that is going to spread throughout your day, right? So owning your morning, really becoming a morning person is going to actually provide self-care in a way that you never thought about, right? Because whatever happens in the first 15 minutes of you waking up, that's how your whole day is going to be. So if you're angry within the first 15 minutes of your day, you're going to be angry the entire day. If you're happy, you're joyful, you're pleasant, you're very optimistic the first 15 minutes of your day, that type of energy is going to spread throughout your whole 24 hours. So that's why number 1 is owning your morning, right? You want to have a positive morning so that nothing can mess up your 24 hours that you've been blessed with. Okay, so number 1 is owning your morning. Number 2, right? Understand that you are the product of your habits. You are the product of your habits. So when I say this, I want you to understand that your habits are making you the person that you are today. Okay? So if you're not happy with your life, your relationships, how things are going, it's a product of your habits. Okay? So number 2, write this down. You are the product of your habits. So if you're not happy, if you don't feel like you're successful, and you're not satisfied with your life right now, you have to realize that you are the product of your habits. You're not happy because of your habits. You're not where you want to be because of your habits. You don't have what you don't have because of your habits, right? So number 1 is owning the morning. Number 2, understanding that you are the product of your habits. If you want certain things in life, you have to implement certain habits that are going to actually push you towards that thing that you want, right? So as far as certain habits, eating fast food, smoking and drinking entirely too much to the point where it comes in between your priorities and it throws you off your game, right? That's an example of you being a product of your habits, right? Being a procrastinator, right? Being a liar, right? Being untrustworthy. If people see you as that, it's because you're a product of your habits. Now, if you guys want to change that around, all you have to do is change your habits. Because you got to remember, if nothing changes, nothing changes. So number 1, owning the morning. Number 2, you are the product of your habits. Number 3, you become what you give your attention to. So this self-care rule is really, really specific, right? You become what you give your attention to. So if you give your attention to a specific goal, you're going to become that specific goal. You're going to attain that specific goal, right? If you give your attention to drama, toxicity, negativity, you are going to become toxic and negative. But if you give your attention to prosperous ideas, right? you're going to prosper in that area. So you become what you give your attention to. So kind of analyze your last 24 hours, right? And how you felt when that day was over. Think about what you gave your attention to that entire day. What did you give your attention to the most? If you give your attention to your goals, your dreams, your aspiration, your life, and your family the most, right, you're going to become those goals that you want to achieve, right? You're going to have that family that you want to have. You're going to become that person that you want to be, because you're giving your attention to something that you actually want to be, right? So number 3 is extremely important. You become what you give your attention to. So be very specific about what you give your attention to, because you're going to become that. Okay, so I want you guys to think about what you want to become and understand that you have to give attention to that. If you're giving attention to anything else, you're going to become opposite of what you're really trying to attain. Okay, now number 4, put yourself up for review, right? Meaning interrogate yourself, investigate yourself, check yourself, right? This is the fourth self-care rule on today's list of 5 is putting yourself up for review, aka checking yourself, looking in the mirror and checking yourself. You want to do this before anybody else around you does this to you, because you don't want nobody else checking you. Right? You don't want nobody else telling you about yourself. So sometimes you got to wake up in the morning, look in the mirror, and analyze yourself, interrogate yourself, really check yourself, tell yourself about yourself. If you're doing good, congratulate yourself. If you can make some improvements, tell yourself what it is and what it's about to be and how it's going down moving forward. You are the only one who can control your life 100%. You are the only one that can control your life. So there are going to come times in your life where you have to go ahead and interrogate yourself. You have to review your life. You actually have to sit back and analyze the position that you're in today, right? Put yourself up for review. What would you rate yourself based off how you treat people, what you have in life, and are you truly happy right now? Review yourself. Ask yourself, am I happy in life? Do I want more? If the answers to those questions are yes, put yourself up for review and figure out what you need to do in order to improve as an individual. Because remember, you are the only person who has control over your entire life. Okay? So sometimes you got to put yourself up for review, because you want to give yourself a review before anybody else does. Think about all the reviews you see on Google. If somebody was to review your life, right? What type of things would they say? What type of things would you say about your life? If you were to leave a review on your own life, what would you say about yourself? Right? Because you want to give yourself a review before you can allow anybody else to give yourself a review, whether it be good or bad. You want to evaluate yourself so you know where you got to be. You know where you're trying to get to. And nobody else around you can really, knock you off your 2 feet. That's why a lot of people are folding under pressure. Because the moment somebody gives you a bad review, your whole life is over. But if you put yourself up for review, and you interrogate yourself and you check yourself, there's not going to be room for anybody else to come in with their side opinions, telling you about what you need to do with your life, because you've already done that. Correct? You put yourself up for review when you stood in the mirror this morning. Correct? You put yourself up for review before you left the house this morning. Correct? You made sure you gave yourself a 5-star rating. You made sure you built yourself up so that when you go out there today, if anybody wants to leave a review, it's going to be a 5-star rating. Because I know that I gave myself a positive review. I evaluated my life. I interrogated myself. I checked myself before I headed out to the world. So number 4 is going to be so substantial to your outlook on life, your self-image, how you see yourself, how other people see you, right? So you got to understand, sometimes you are going to have to check yourself. Sometimes you do be tripping. Sometimes you don't want to hear somebody else checking yourself. So before somebody else steps to you, check yourself. Have a talk with yourself. Sometimes we need that, right? So I just wanted to come on here and tell y'all number 4, because sometimes I could sit in the same environment with somebody and know that they haven't put themselves up for review in a long time. They don't interrogate themselves. They don't check themselves. Sometimes you can kind of tell when people aren't receptive to open criticism or things of that nature. So that's why before somebody else criticizes you, put yourself up for review. Now, number 5, remember you have the power to have no opinion. I know it's a lot going on in this world. You got family issues. You got the news. Some of you guys probably live in crazy cities, violence all around. Remember that you have the power to have no opinion, right? So certain things don't always require your opinion. Now, this is going to be a helpful self-care rule because sometimes when you input your opinion in certain situations, you start to get back certain backlash and certain feedback. And that can start a whole situation. So sometimes you got to keep your opinion to yourself. Remember that you have the power to have no opinion, right? So if a situation has happened, you can step back and be like, I don't even got no comment for that. No opinion, no comment, no input, no insight. So remember that you have the power to have no opinion. When certain shit is happening and it doesn't align with your goals and where you're trying to go, why do you need to put your opinion in on that? Why do you need to put your opinion in on certain things? Understand that your opinion is so powerful that not everybody deserves it. So remember that you have the power to have no opinion. Sometimes your opinion is not always necessary. And if you keep it to yourself, you might prosper a little bit longer and avoid certain situations that you don't have to be in. Because a lot of people put their opinion on situations when it wasn't really required or asked for. So keep your opinion to yourself sometimes. Because sometimes your opinion can help yourself before it helps somebody else. You can help your own self a lot more with your own opinion instead of trying to put your opinion on other people. So that's why number 5, I got to kind of break it down to you so that you remember you have the power to have no opinion. Your opinion is not always required or necessary in every situation. Sometimes keeping your opinion to yourself can actually have a more positive impact on your own life than somebody else's. So I'm going to give you guys steps 1 through 5 once again so you guys can write them down and understand that knowledge isn't power. Applied knowledge is power. Okay, so number 1 on our first self-care rules out of 40, I'm going to be going over 1 through 5 right now. Number 1 is owning the morning. Number 2 is understanding you are the product of your habits. Number 3, you become what you give your attention to. Number 4, put yourself up for review and check yourself and interrogate yourself. And number 5, understand and remember you have the power to have no opinion. Sometimes you got to shut the fuck up and keep your opinion to yourself. Put your head down and keep moving. Okay? So number 1, own the morning. Number 2, you are the product of your habits. Number 3, you become what you give your attention to. Number 4, put yourself up for review. Number 5, remember you have the power to have no opinion. Right? So if you guys found value from today's episode, go ahead and subscribe to our podcast. Show some support to a Black-owned business. Share this episode with somebody you feel needs a little bit more self-care. And understand that if nothing changes, nothing changes. So go ahead and head on over to elevateyoursuccess.com, shop the merchandise, subscribe to our YouTube channel, Elevate Your Success 101. Follow us on Instagram, guys, Elevate Your Success 101. If you're interested in being a guest on the podcast, go ahead and shoot us a DM. We'll get you plugged in the right place at the right time. So I just want to thank you guys for listening to another valuable episode. If you guys found value, go ahead and repost this, share this with your family members, share it with your coworkers, your sisters, your brothers, your daughters, your children around you guys. We are so blessed and grateful to be impacting thousands of lives on a daily aspect. We have a global podcast now. We've taken this thing worldwide, and I'm just so blessed and grateful for the support. Without further ado, come back for tomorrow's episode. We're going to be going over steps 5 through 10 on our 40 rules of self-care. Without further ado, have a blessed and grateful day. I love you. I love you. I love you. And if nobody told you today, I love you.